Hey guys, and welcome back. So today we're making up for some of the losses we had yesterday. The day trading was a little bit slippery, so we'll review it fairly quickly, and I want to be focusing on some other things which I find a little bit more interesting. So for the first time, not really the first time, but for the first time since doing the challenge, we were actually fully allocated with some of our swing trading right now. We're long 6 stocks right now, so I want to quickly review some of those with you guys. I think 2 of which are more EV stocks, one debatable EV stock, and yeah, so let's go ahead and actually switch the screens already, because let's just try to get through as much information as possible. And remember guys, all the specific details or the sections are going to be timestamped below, right below. So if you guys want to check those out, feel free to do so. So this was the watch list, and by the way guys, a little update here. We're going to be posting the watch list like this for now on, and you guys will have a link to this. There's going to be in the future on Trade Journal portfolios or profiles you guys can check out. So mine's /Winkler, and then you guys are going to be able to see all of my watch lists. You guys can check them out there. Obviously, we talk about it every day on the live stream first, but still, could be nice for you guys to kind of check out a little bit more in detail, and this is how you're going to find it. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of mention that briefly here. So the tickers we were really trading today, SUNW was the main one that I was looking at. This was a technology company, solar US company, 46 million market cap, 60 million float, gapping up around 50% pre-market. At least kind of consolidating around 50% pre-market, and $10 million in Q3 wins. So they had some increase in projects which were represented, and acceleration in activity and improved market conditions. So I actually liked SNUW a lot, because this was actually a ticker that was showing the most signs of I would say consistent price action, because I felt like it had a good, nice low float, which allowed traders to, it has that spikeability. It has kind of a bit more predictability as well. And, it had a catalyst. A lot of these other tickers, especially yesterday, just didn't have catalyst, and it was a bit more of a guessing game. So SUNW, you can see we made 287. Actually, it kind of was ridiculous. I almost did all of my good trading pre-market, and then at the market open, I gave back most of my profit. So I was up like 450 day trading alone, and then we ended the day pretty much like up around 300 day trading. So going here quickly to SNUW. These just to kind of fully show you guys the day trades. On the live stream right before we wrapped up, this is the area we were calling out, the 375 zone. I just missed that by a hair. I should have got aggressive on it, but you know how it goes. So SUNW, on these few clean trades is really where I was cleaning up the most. And I wasn't crazy about this ticker because, it was a recent runner. We had big resistance above, so not a lot of room to run. Volume wasn't super hot, but at the same time, it was kind of clean here. I ended up buying a quick little pullback here, looking for a secondary breakout, but the volume was looking a little bit lighter, or it was a little bit kind of weak in this area. And I was like, oh man, you know what? Actually, there's huge resistance above here. I'm not sure if this bull flag is actually going to have a follow through here. So I actually ended up closing this one fairly quickly. I always do my first trade, my first pre-market trades, always smaller size. I reduce some of my risk that way. My second trade, again, very, very small base hit here. Big breakout, bought the pullback, was looking for a continuation. Again, it was a little bit too weak. I constantly felt sellers in the order book, and the price and sales or time in sales is a little bit hard to sometimes read, because sometimes it skips massive amount of orders. You could see big buying going on, big selling going on, but technically a seller is a buyer, so it's not as easy to read. But you get a feeling for just those sellers constantly dumping at certain prices, right? And that's what I was feeling here. And that's why I was like, okay, I'm going to jump the ship. Again, had a small trade here, looking for that continuation, but all the continuations didn't work. Luckily, I took my base hits and moved on, but it was just weak. That's why I didn't want to trade SUNW out of the gates. I was waiting for a little bit of consolidation. Once it looked like we were about to break past VWAP, I actually ended up buying here on the pullback. And I was looking for a move back above VWAP, didn't really work. Averaged down here a little bit, took a small loss on this trade. Then again, same situation here, was looking for a break up, break to the upside. Oh wait, hold on. Well, the first one was a loss. Yeah, and then right here, I bought the dip again, and then was looking for a move higher. So I pretty much, these trades canceled each other out. It was weak. I was constantly looking for those reversals, and they were weak. Constantly looking for the breaks to the upside. slowly giving back a little bit of profits, making some money, and then giving back some. Here we had a nice flag pattern, which we eventually had a nice solid breakout here. But the problem with this one is, again, we had a nice pullback. I was waiting for the continuation. This was like a 2% move. Could have took my profits, but 2%, that's like a base hit, especially once the market opens. So I'm usually looking for a little bit more than that. Let me turn this light a little bit down. I'm just blinding myself. So I was, again, I was not super stoked. So I kind of closed this one out for a scratch, and then finally we started breaking higher here, and then I kind of jumped on this one kind of quickly. There was a big sell order at 4.3 getting chipped away, and I was part of that shipping, right? It went from like 1,000, or actually it was probably around 10,000 shares, and then it went, it showed 1,000 here. So imagine this was 1,000. You could always times that by 10 at least, right? I think that's how it is. And yeah, so that number was getting chipped away, and it was going from 1,000 to 800, 700, 300, and then I jumped in on that, and then we got the breakout, which was nice because I was trying this whole move the whole time. But I knew there was so much sellers on here that I wanted to be quick, and I ended up kind of closing out this one for a little bit of profit on that. But SUNW, it was just such a weird ticker. RAVE, this was another ticker, which very weird catalyst here, I gotta say. Restaurant Corporation, 15 million shares outstanding, 13 million float. They hired 2 new executives to fuel franchise development. I don't know, like, for the fact that this thing at one point, this ticker ran up so much. It was up like, I was about to say 500. It was up 780, 700, let's just say +% at one point. I was like, what is going on here with this catalyst? I didn't really trust this ticker. So I ended up just taking a few light stabs at this one, looking for a little bit of reversals, made some profits on this one. And then I think I gave back some profits on this one. So it just was like, I don't know. I wasn't really feeling this ticker. And I think that's pretty much all the day trading I did today. It was really mostly on SUNW with a kind of lookalike trade with PECK, because PECK and SUNW have a merger deal, so they're kind of feeding off each other. PECK was really, really interesting, but it kind of just didn't hold where I was hoping it would, and it didn't have that continuation. So I was thinking, okay, maybe it's going to have a quick little red to green move. It did, but it didn't hold this area, and then it kind of kept on selling off. Then it had that break here, but at this point I wasn't trading anymore, so I don't know, just kind of missed that one. So let's talk here a little bit about what kind of swing trades I'm on, because I have 6 swing trades right now, and usually that's not always the case. So what I do is usually I'm fully allocated with my swing trades in my Roth account. That's the IRA account. So we have 3 swing trades on this one, and then we have another 3 swing trades on this one. You can see CHS, KCAC, and then EXPR. Again, guys, in the future, this is always going to be viewable. You guys are going to be able to see all this if you just go to /Winkler, go to my profile, and you guys can always see this. But these are the open trades right now. We'll just very briefly talk about each one. So let me just go to charts and go to the 4-hour, and then we can all talk about this very quickly here. And if you guys have any questions, drop them below. Let me know your guys' thoughts on these individual companies. If you guys are learning something, don't forget to drop a like. I really, really appreciate the support. And if you're totally new here, consider subscribing. We go live every morning at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let's talk about the... We'll leave these 2 for later because they're not the EV companies, but I think they're really, really good setups right now. We'll talk about the EVs first because I think you guys are probably extra excited about those. So let's start with HCHC. It's a Hennessy Capital Acquisition Corp, a SPAC company, right? Special Purpose Acquisition Corp. And they are having a merger with, I always forget how to say this one, Canoe. Did I say that right? Wait. Canoe, here it is, CANOO. This is an EV company. You guys can look at that through it on your own time. EVs have obviously been a really, really hot sector right now. Everything is running up. I mean, we saw WWR yesterday, a mining company that is benefiting from the executive order that Trump made with graphite mining, because graphite is a key material in lithium-ion batteries. So it's like anything along the supply chain with EV vehicles is exploding. I mean, if you're a mining company, or if you are a company like KCAC, which develops batteries, it's just across the board, it's crazy lately. So there's Canoe. You guys can check this out on your own time. What I'm really looking for this company, I like Hennessy Capital. They have some really good track records, good team there. I was waiting for this company to sell off a little bit, and lately we just approached this big critical kind of $10 zone. I really like what I'm seeing here. I think there's good support, so I ended up buying here at 10.54. I'm looking for a bit of a reversal back to the 11.5. I would probably sell. I'd probably do a little bit of front running in this area. I'm not totally sure if we're going to have a full move here. It is kind of a lighter move though, only about 7%. But I do think if we crack here at roughly 10, we'll have a retest back to 10. So I don't think my risk is really that high. Maybe at most I'm risking, unless there's some really bad news that comes out, I might be risking, I don't know, 3% or something like that. Because if we break 10, let's say 10.4 with big volume, it goes all the way back down to 10, I think I would sell here on or pop back to the upside. So really, I don't think I'm risking too much on this one with a decent percent amount of upside on HCHC, which I'm pretty stoked about. So I don't know, we'll see. HCAC could be a really interesting SPAC. Overall, I kind of like it. Then we have KCAC, and I think this is why I was so confused, because I put HCAC, I put this link here on accident. This link was supposed to go over here, so I'll go ahead and fix that a little bit later after this video. I was like, why am I so confused right now? Yeah, these tickers are so close. These SPAC companies always have very similar tickers because they're trying to, I think they're trying to spell SPAC, that's why. Okay, KCAC, this one, similar situation. I was waiting for this one to sell off, and a little bit insider information, or not inside information on this one. They recently partnered with QuantumScape, which is a ion battery kind of developing company. They're trying to improve the ion battery. You guys can check out a lot more information on this page, but actually, I don't know if this website link works, but if this one works, I would recommend checking this page out, e/lyte/innovations.de. This is a really kind of fun place to kind of watch and learn a little bit more about how these ion batteries work. I was checking it out this morning, and I was kind of getting captivated. It's just kind of fun to go through this whole process and understand the stages of the battery working. To be honest, it really is not my forte. So to me, it was like the most basic thing is already kind of eye-opening in its own way. Anyway, these guys are they're trying to improve the battery design. You guys can see down here on the sec.gov, they had a whole publication about investor presentation about what they're recently doing. So I recommend checking this out on your own time. They have a really impressive team here. Even JB Straubel, who was the recent, I think CTO, I want to say. CTO of Tesla back before 2019, so in 2017, or no, I don't know, fake news there. You're gonna have to check that on your own time. I can't remember every little detail, but yeah, so really nice team here, and they're working on a battery. Let's see here, lithium metal battery, which is supposed to be the big improvement from a lithium ion. Now, you guys probably all heard of Battery Day, and you probably remember that Tesla is working on their own improved battery, and that's actually a little bit of a different approach than lithium metal. So if there's a big red flag, I would probably argue that that Tesla is experimenting with a liquid electrolyte battery instead of metal electrolyte. So maybe something worth considering there. I mean, I'm pretty long Tesla, so this is, it's kind of tough to kind of go with a competitor, but in a way, this is a competitor. There's a good video by Dave Lee, worth checking out. He kind of dives into this point a little bit more, and he knows much more about it than I do. So I would definitely recommend checking out this video. Again, I will leave all the links to this in the first pinned comment below. Yeah, so kind of an interesting setup here with this this play, KCAC. I gotta say, I really like the board on KCAC. It's a lot of people from the car industry, from all over, Volkswagen even. So it's a nice team, and I think it's definitely something worth getting behind. And I think there's enough room in this whole EV space where there's going to be a lot of competition. So I don't really think that a bet on Tesla is really a negative bet on KCAC fully. I don't know, but we'll see what happens. For now, I thought there was really big support right around here at 14.5, but we actually broke this area with pretty decent volume. So I'm not super stoked about that. And that actually made me a little bit nervous here. So I think how I want to play KCAC is actually look for a move back to the upside, a quick break here, maybe close this position for a small win, small loss, just a scratch, and then maybe look to buy back. I don't know. Right now it's still in a very bearish trend, and we might actually have a final flush back here to the downside. And I'll be around 10% down on my position if we do have that, which is usually where I'm looking to cut out my losses. So it's a tough position here on KCAC, but overall, above 1450, I really like the overall risk reward. So we'll see what happens. And if you guys always want to get the latest updates on any one of my trades, make sure to check out the streams around 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when we stop day trading and usually start talking about swing trades a little bit more. Yeah, so that's KCAC and HCHC. GE, very similar, well, not similar, but it's also, in the car kind of space for what it is. One thing I do kind of want to mention here is, this is a pretty old established company. They keep on having just constantly negative news about it. It's a little bit stressful. And just recently, yesterday, I read that they received a Wells notice. It basically means from the SEC that the SEC thinks there's something shady going on and they have to kind of deal with it. And the worst part is I read that over like 70% of SEC Wells notices actually end up with, illegal, where basically there was an issue. So that's not very exciting about to be part of GE on that. So that resulted in this pretty much 6% flush here, 7% flush here. I've been holding GE for quite some time, ever since this big break to the upside. I actually bought the pullback and then it kept on selling off a little bit more. $6 is really my stop zone on GE, so I really would have liked to see this keep holding. I do think GE has a tremendous amount of upside, but it has to get its act together. I don't mind holding this one a little bit longer because if you go to the weekly chart here, you can see that we've sold off so much. And last time we were in these big lows, we actually ended up having a huge reversal. So I'm thinking maybe there's going to be somewhat of a reversal here on GE at one point, but it's a tough play because there's so many moving parts with GE. So to me, it's more of a technical play. ADT, very quickly, this ticker. Ever since it had that big merger with Google bought, I think 6.6%. You guys know ADT as the home security stock. So ever since all that happened, this thing ran up like 120 or so percent and then really sold off. Now it's back to the prices before this big takeoff here. So I feel like, there might be some back holders. There's people that might not be selling anymore. Either way, we're near some really big support. So I feel like ADT in these areas could be really good swing trade. So that's why I'm long ADT right around here. Unfortunately, actually, no, not unfortunately, I bought around 8.5. It did go down close to almost breaking 8. I think it even broke 8 for a second. So I don't know. We'll see. I would like to see this one have a retest higher here back to 10, and then I'll probably end up looking to take some profits. We'll see how that goes. That would be about a 20% move. If it breaks $8, that's where I'd be cutting losses on a retest. Let's keep moving along here. There's two retail companies. I typically don't trade retail or swing trade it either, but I kind of like these two a little bit because of really nice long-term support and resistance. We have videos on both of these tickers in the past you guys can check out where I go much more in depth. I just want to quickly review them here. EXPR, it's been selling for Express. It's a clothing retail chain in the US. It's been selling off for quite some time, and I really like that. It had kind of a bit of a low here. Now it's popping back up, and I bought the pullback. I'm looking for a reversal back above 0.8. Again, you guys can check out a whole video I have on EXPR where I go in much more detail. I just want to finish this up before it goes over 20 minutes. And then CHR, no, that's wrong. CHS. Chico's, very similar setup here, and I am looking for this one to have a little bit of a reversal. Both of these are under $1, and for these to be listed on the exchanges that are listed on, they have a $1 listing requirement. So I think these two companies are going to try whatever it takes to get back above $1, or they're going to get delisted and they're going to go to the stock market cemetery called OTC markets where people don't really come out of again. So I think both these companies, CHS, are really good potential setups. So these are all my current setups on these swing trades. You can see him wherever it says P&L open. If there's no P&L open, it means it was a day trade because I already closed out of that position. All right, guys, that's everything for this video. I hope I squeezed in all the information I needed to. Anyway, guys, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell icon too if you like the content. I will see you guys tomorrow morning to trade the market open again. Till then, guys, like always, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.